Daniels is your former head coach. The Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not? Why isn't he? Look at all his experience. Look how many
Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not?
6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels they're
losing. And sometimes, right, the second time around
2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm trying to get this pulled up. Give me a second here. Yeah, it's tweaking out, man. Stupid Twitter. Let me try it one more time. He says something good in here, so hold up, and then I'm going to give my 2 cents on something here coming up. So hold on.
Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not? Why isn't he? Look at all his experience. Look how many
Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited. And it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not? Why isn't he? Look at all his experience. Look how many
Raiders, they're at 2-6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have so much talent. And there's a lot of rumblings, especially over the past week, that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not?
6, and it's almost inexplicable because they have.
All right, sorry about that. Really irritated. This ain't working. He says some good stuff in here. That's why I wanted you guys to hear him. So I got another one. Let me try to play this one, see if this one will play. This is a more recent one here.
Why did they trade Waller?
Yeah, it was a
like, what is
Josh?
See, are you starting to see
Jacob is not very happy about it. He tweeted out what he tweet out something about like shit's not fair or something like that. I don't know what he said exactly, but
are you starting to see
what your beef is with him?
Why I feel the way I feel about Josh McDaniels? Just what are we doing? Like, Ashley, this is a prime example. It's not about the players. It's about my plays. You have Darren Waller. Just before last year started, we were saying he was the best tight end. We weren't talking about Travis Kelce. We were talking about Waller. Now he's gone. Derek Carr's gone. If this dude, listen, if Josh McDaniels don't turn the team around this year, his ass need to be fired.
You might want to give Brandon an ISO for this. He about to go in.
Fired. I don't need no ISO. We can stay right here. He needs to be fired and banned from the NFL. You can't even be an offensive coordinator.
Wow.
What are you doing? This is your second time around. And you do the same thing. Let me go get my guy. Let me get rid of some guys that are really good. Derek Carr, Waller, okay, and then gonna bring in my guys that are kind of like,
All right, guys. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Just wanted to kind of pop in there, share some shit. The one I really wanted to share was this one. I don't know why it ain't popping up. Because
Leaders past week that McDaniels is not suited to be a head coach. Is that fair?
Wow, he's not.
Fucking stupid. All right, whatever. I'm over it. All right, so hopefully everybody's doing good, man. Kind of give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Daryl, what up? Anthony, hopefully you're doing good. Otis up in here. Super Omicron, how you doing? I think I got everybody. Cuban Raider, what up? All right, so kind of I wanted to show that, not because I really give a shit what Brandon Marshall thinks, right? So I think it was like a year ago. He was like on NBC. They're like one of their post-game deals they do or whatever. Brandon Marshall was on there and he was talking trash about Coach McDaniel. So when it happened, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of against the grain kind of guy. So if someone's going to be spouting their mouth off or whatever, like I usually don't buy into it. Like so like when not even those two Twitter things where Brandon Marshall was hating on Coach McDaniels, but the one prior when he was on that NBC show with him and a bunch of other old NFL players and whatnot, like Phil Simms and Boomer Esiason and those guys. That's where this whole like shit talking thing started with Brandon Marshall and Coach McDaniels. Cheers, by the way. Just having one beer probably tonight, but when Brandon Marshall started talking shit about McDaniels, I'm like, look, I'm gonna have my own assessment. I don't care what this dude says. I'm gonna have my own assessment. So I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys where I'm at with some of this shit and why I do think this thing with Devante Adams is actually I know there's a lot of shit on Twitter and stuff. I didn't get too much on Twitter, but why I do think that this is important. Okay. When a player says something, it holds more merit, I think, than obviously someone like me that's looking from the outside in, right? We have the narrative, of the Raiders that we weren't a playoff team when McDaniels and Ziegler took over, right? That was the narrative. Well, we weren't a playoff team. We got lucky on some wins. We don't have a good enough team to succeed and stuff. And there was a huge narrative put out by guys like Vinny and Hondo, and they're still putting this bullshit out that a lot of Raider Nation have bid into. And I bid into it too. I bid into the apple, man. I believed some of the stuff they were putting out about our team and our coaching staff. But as we peeled back layers of the onion, more things got revealed of what their true intentions were of the staff, right? So that they come in, right? The staff comes in, they're like, it's a win now mode, right? It's not a rebuild, right? That's what we were presented with. So I'm gonna try not to blow my lid. My Raider reaction draft video, I kind of went fucking nuts and shit, but here's the reason why, guys. We were told it wasn't a rebuild, and then the shit we were fed to bite into the apple was, well, we have to go and get our guys, right? And then it's like, well, we're going to get rid of some guys, right? So throughout all of last season, from John Abrams, Trayvon Mullins, Alex Leatherwood, all this shit, they're dumping players, right? Some people could argue those players were worth getting rid of, right? But those guys never really even had a chance with this coaching staff either. And that's important to remember, So when you look at it on the surface, it looks okay. I'll be honest with you guys. You look at it on the surface, at first, it looks okay. It's not a big shitstorm, okay? When you peel back these layers of the onion, and I say you got to know people by their fruit and stuff, this is where they start revealing stuff. So I am one of the few Raider fans I feel that was ready to move on from Derek Carr and I'm going to be critical of this coaching staff and some of the decisions they're making. Okay. I know there's others out there who are really pro Carr and Saints fans and all this shit, and they hate McDaniels. And then there's others that like, hate Carr and they love McDaniels. Okay. I'm like, I'm not of either of those camps. I'm my own fucking camp, dude. Right. Like we all have opinions and stuff, but like, some of these narratives being put out on shit, about how great this coaching staff isn't accurate. Ryan Miller, my homie Ryan Miller brought up a good point. You guys think about it, man. The Patriot way only worked when Tom Brady was in, with the Patriots. So like the stuff that they have done has never been proven outside of the Patriot organization, meaning the coaches that have left the Patriots to go coach somewhere else. It's never worked. Okay. And then the next thing, even the Patriots themselves, the coaching staff that are still there in the Patriot way isn't working without Tom Brady. It's not. I mean, look at how the team has struggled, right? They had made the playoffs, I think 1 or 2 times or something since Brady left. But like this Patriot way that we've bit into the apple and that we're buying from this new regime, we think it works, but does it really? So like I was ready to move on from Derek Carr, guys. I'll straight up tell you, like I was ready to move on. Had he taken a pay cut, like I said, for years, 22 mil, like what Garoppolo's saying, yeah, I would have said like keep him. That's a fair deal. I think that's fair to the Raiders, fair to Derek Carr. Derek Carr showed his true colors. He went and he chose money over the Raiders, and this coaching staff didn't want him. However, just because this is important, I want you guys to like really take this in right now. Just because we got rid of like Derek Carr doesn't mean we had to do a full rebuild. Just because we were going to move on from Derek Carr because his contract, we were going to pay him too much money for the production, does not mean we had to hit a full rebuild. I hope everybody really understands that. So they get rid of Derek Carr, right? And I said this, also I'm going to say it again. I'm keeping fucking receipts, just like I said in my draft video. But this coaching staff paid Derek Carr. This coaching staff paid Darren Waller. This coaching staff paid Hunter Renfrow. You can't blame any of that shit on John Gruden because that's all this staff has done. They've had excuses for days. They fed us a bunch of bullshit, and I bought it too at first, guys. I did. I was excited. I thought Josh McDaniels was going to be an offensive guru. The Brandon Marshall thing, I'm thinking the dude might be right. Even though I kind of think he's a clown, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not a big Brandon Marshall fan, but there could be some truth in it. I said in one of my last videos talking about Devante Adams and Josh Jacobs, and like I said, going to the offseason, that we're going to know this staff's true colors if they don't sign Josh Jacobs. I know everybody thinks it's running back by committee and all this shit, dude. Josh Jacobs is a Raider, and he's a true leader. He's one of the few leaders we've had on this team, true leaders on this team since his rookie year. And I know he dealt with some injuries off and on, but dude, the dude was playing with like a dislocated shoulder and shit, guys. Josh Jacobs should be on this team. He's an integral part to this team. And what did this coaching staff do? They came on. They didn't think Josh Jacobs was going to ball out, and they drafted 2 running backs. They were already ready to move on from him. And then they get rid of Derek Carr. Again, I was ready to move on from Derek Carr, but they paid him. Why would they pay him if they were going to move on from him? Huh? Unless they have a motive. Were they trying to get draft compensation thinking they would be able to trade Derek Carr? Why did they pay Darren Waller and get rid of Darren Waller? And they paid Hunter Renfrow. Look, we just drafted a wide receiver in the 3rd round. The worst draft pick, in my opinion, him and the quarterback we drafted are the 2 worst draft picks that we picked up. And the only way that the wide receiver we got in the 3rd round makes sense to draft a wide receiver that high is if they already have plans on getting rid of Hunter Renfrow after the June 1st deadline where they can save a little bit of money. Right? So I'm telling you guys, if they get rid of Hunter Renfrow, their intentions were never to win to begin with. Never. And I know there's a lot of people that are like hyped up on shit. Dude, I'm usually a pretty positive like Raider fan. Me and Raider Dave years ago, dude, we did like a whole show just dedicated to Derek Carr and all the hate he got, trying to create positivity for Raider Nation and all the hate out there, especially the move from Oakland to Vegas. Dude, we were those guys. Not these other dudes riding our coattails, fucking like stealing our content that we created fucking years ago. That was us, bro. Straight up. That was us. Okay. So like I've done plenty and I do plenty of positivity for my team that I love and I bleed silver and black. But at the same time, when I see stuff going a different direction than what we were told, and these guys, like, they don't fucking care. They really don't, man. These guys aren't in a win now mode. That's the only way you get rid of Darren Waller. And if we get rid of Hunter Renfrow, say we keep Hunter Renfrow and we just drafted what, a special teams wide receiver in the 3rd round. You guys think that's a smart move to spend a 3rd round draft pick on a special teams wide receiver? So they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they get rid of Hunter Renfrow, well, damn them, because they paid the dude. If they keep Hunter Renfrow, well, it's damn them because they drafted a wide receiver in the 3rd round. It's a lose-lose situation. They fucked up. And this is their actions, not mine. I'm sitting here watching all the bullshit and everybody eating the fucking apple, and they're not calling a fucking spade a spade. They're being fake motherfuckers. And I said this about Devante Adams recently, that, watch, dude, this dude is not going to want to be part of this bullshit. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see what the fuck this coaching staff is doing, man. And we were a playoff team. I don't care if we barely won or if we won by a fucking mile. We were a good team the year we went to the playoffs against the Bengals. That was a good fucking team. They destructed this fucking team to the nuts and bolts. And now you have a stud star wide receiver, Devante Adams, the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's calling it like it is. He's calling it like it is, and he should. He should. Damn fucking right he should. You know, of all the wide receivers, if we go back in time in history, as me as a Raiders fan, who I did not like, if you asked me if there's one star-studded wide receiver for the Raiders to get, who I would not want to ever be a Raider, it was Randy fucking Moss. Randy Moss. I fucking hated Randy Moss long before he was a Raider. Always running his fucking mouth, all this shit. I don't care how good that dude was. That dude was never going to be a Raider. That dude came here. The Raiders like self-destructed. We got rid of fucking players and shit. And then we ended up trading him. Now, I hope that's not the situation with Devante Adams, because Devante Adams is the one wide receiver I would want to be a Raider. That dude is a Raider. And I said in one of my other videos, I said, this motherfucker's from Palo Alto, man. You think he's not going to see this fucking bullshit a mile away, bro? Come on now. I like, dude, he's a real motherfucker, man. Like, straight up. Like, you know, people, like, it's funny to me, man, because you'll have a dude that's calling it like it is, that he's not happy with some of the shit going down, and we've all bit into the apple, and we think this shit's all right. We think this shit is okay. So maybe Brandon Marshall is right. He was talking about how this coach doesn't earn, like, it glitched out or whatever, the fucking stupid Twitter thing, but talking about how he's not a kind of coach that's going to earn people's respect, dude. You can't come in and destroy the entire fucking team and expect a stud that's only got a couple years. And I said that, dude, I've said this for a while. We have a 2-3 year window, guys. 2-3 year window. And they destroyed our fucking team. The coach, our coach, McDaniels, did that shit. Not me. You can hate me all you want. You can be fake all you want, positive all you want. They did this, not fucking me. They did this to our team. I'm just one of the few like real motherfuckers out there that don't make money off YouTube because I don't give a shit. I make money other fucking ways. I'm the only dude out there calling it like it really fucking is. And I'm being real. And some people don't like that because you're fake. You're fake. You're so fucking fake, man, that you cannot fucking handle the truth. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Devante Adams just told you the fucking truth. And it wasn't all shitty. Everybody probably fucking seen it, read it, whatever on the Ringer. But this dude straight up just called out the fucking coaching staff. And the people that want to say it's all because of Derek Carr, that was probably part of it. That wasn't, dude, I'm not seeing it all as like Derek Carr of why he's upset. Dude, they're stripping the whole team down to fucking nothing, man. Nothing. And we're going to congratulate these guys with flowers saying how fucking great they are. They haven't done shit. They destroyed our fucking team. And I didn't say shit. I stayed reserved. And I was like, I'm gonna let their actions speak for themselves. I'm gonna sit back. I'll call on the radio. Hopefully we get Hendon Hooker. I'll sit back and I'm gonna see what these guys fucking do. I'm gonna watch with my eyes and I'm gonna see what they do or what they don't do. And they've proved to us who they are. All of us. They've shown their true colors, man, and they're lying to us and they're fake as fuck. That's why I'm saying, dude, these guys aren't fucking Raiders. They're not. As much as we might want them to be in the Patriot way, and they've won Super Bowls, they've never done it outside of the Patriots, nor has the Patriots done it without Tom Brady. So what is this Patriot way? This shit's great, right? Everybody loves the new Patriots fucking way. I'm going to tell you guys straight up. I know there's people in the chat. I appreciate everybody, but dude, like, I'm going to keep it real. Like, people make money off YouTube and they're fake because they don't want to lose their listeners. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'll make money. I hustle in other fucking ways. I do this shit for fun because I bleed silver and black. I don't have to worry about being demonetized, man. That's why I don't want to be monetized, because I can speak my fucking mind until they cancel culture me like they did fucking Gruden. So I don't give a fuck, man. Fake people just keep being fucking fake. Everybody else that sees it for what it is, these guys are full of shit. And Devante Adams just called them on their motherfucking bluff. Cheers to fucking Devante Adams, because him and maybe fucking Josh Jacobs, the only guys that got balls to call these motherfuckers out, right? They're the only ones, man. Only ones to call them on their fucking bluff. You just wait till Hunter Renfro's gone. And then when Josh Jacobs don't get a contract and he's not a Raider. Oh, but we're in a win now mode, huh? We'll see. We'll see. I'm keeping fucking receipts all day long, motherfuckers. All day long. All right. I'm going to share this screen with you guys. I want to talk about something here. I was actually going to do a video on this shit. I was going to break it down. I just don't have the time to fucking do it like I wanted to, but we're going to do a quick version here, okay? So go over real quick here. Be patient with me. I'll try to explain the best I can and kind of show you guys what I've been researching and why this matters, what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So right here, essentially, it's a lot of shit about compulsory picks, okay? It talks about the formula, essentially rounds, like you'll get comp picks for rounds 3rd through like 7, okay? So you look at it and you're like, okay, who cares, right? We're talking about compulsory picks for this year or next year, whatever, you know. Well, it's actually a strategy that I'm going to show you guys here that coaches do. Make sure you guys can see this one. Put my face down here so it blows it up. All right, so this is 2022. Clicked on 2023. It's going to take a while to find the Raiders each time. Okay. So here's the 2023 comp picks for the Raiders, okay? So essentially, you have to get rid of more players than you gain, okay? And I'll get to my point here shortly. So you guys can see like Marcus Mariota and how certain players cancel each other out. It's like a formula, whatever. So here's 2 for Zay Jones, Casey Hayward, after all the others canceled each other out. What I really want you guys to see is the Patriot way. Who in here knows what the Patriot way is? Who in here knows what the real Patriot way is? Because we talk about it, but does anybody ever fucking look into it? I think I passed them. So this is 2022 right here. and I'm looking for the Patriots. And when you do like the data of what I'm going to show here, all right. So this one, the Patriots didn't do much in 2022. But you start going back in years, you're going to notice a completely different story with the damn Patriots. So this is the year that they got rid of Tom Brady. So here's the Patriots right here. They got a 3rd round pick for Tom Brady, a 4th round pick, and then a 5th round pick, right? So obviously they were going to get something high for Tom Brady, but just Tom Brady going to another team and all these other guys canceling themselves out, they got a draft pick for that. But it's not just that, guys. You go into 2020. Look at 2020 for the New England Patriots. Trey Flowers, Trent Brown. We all know about Trent Brown. Malcolm Brown, Cordell Patterson, Eric Rowe. So they got 2 3rd-round picks and then 3 6th-round picks right here in 2021. Or sorry, 2020. All right. So we're going reverse. So now we're going to go 2019. All right. They got 2 3rd-round picks. Nate Solder, Malcolm Butler, Deion Lewis, a 6th round, and then Cameron Fleming, a 7th round. Are you guys starting to see a fucking pattern here yet with the Patriots? The Patriot way. A 4th round pick, 7th round pick. That was for 2018. 5th round pick, 2017. Look at this. This is 2016. Look at the Patriots. They got a 3rd round, 3 6th round picks, 2 7th round picks. They got 5 draft picks from fucking get rid of all these guys. Going to 2015. Keem Talib, 3rd round pick, 7th pick. All right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show. Are you guys noticing a trend here? Anybody notice a trend in the compulsory picks the Patriots have got going back to 2015? Anybody? Now, that method can work when you already have guys in place that you've drafted, developed, and all that shit. That Patriot way shit can work if you've done it right. But who here thinks that we're in a position where that Patriot way shit's going to work here? As you can see, they get rid of a lot of players on purpose. On purpose. They want compensatory picks. This is the exact strategy that this coaching staff has done. This is why we're getting rid of all these players. To get compensatory picks. So instead of winning now, just win now, baby. Their plan is to pretty much tank and to destroy our fucking team for some shitty ass comp picks so you can get a special teams wide receiver in the 3rd fucking round. We got the Super Bowl in Vegas this year. How many people really think that this is a smart strategy right now? With the keeping in mind, we have Crosby on what? Another 3 years if we're lucky. They'll probably trade Max Crosby here in 2 years. We got Devante Adams. His contract jumps up after, I think it's not next year, I think it's the year after. So that 3-year window jumps up from like 20 mil to 40 mil. You better believe this coaching staff ain't going to keep Devante Adams after 2 years, man. They'll dump his ass, just like the Patriots have done. That's what the Patriot way is. They're fucking spineless, bro. They don't give a fuck. They don't bleed silver and black. They don't give a fuck about our players. That's why they traded Darren Waller. This is why they paid Derek Carr. They thought they were going to get draft picks for him. It bit him in the ass. I was ready to move on from Derek Carr. I just think it's funny because they're fucking idiots for even paying Derek Carr. They didn't get shit for him. We took a $5.6 million cap hit. $5.6 million, dude. We could have used that for at least one guy. At least one guy, right? Shit, go get me fucking cornerback Marcus Peters, dude. Give that $5.6 million to Josh Jacobs, right? I mean, let's keep our good players happy and not just fucking trade them away like the Raiders have done over and over again for no reason. We got traded draft picks for Antonio Clown. Devante Adams ain't no clown. He's a super stud. But let's like fucking figure out a way to like keep our good players happy that want to stay Raiders. But that's not what this coaching staff is doing. They want to get rid of Hunter Renfrow, whether they get a direct draft pick for it or they have to just release him to get compensatory picks, man. It's crazy, man. It's like, dude, it's crazy that like nobody sees this Patriot way bullshit is like to pretty much where at least the Raiders are at right now. It's to strip the team down to the nuts and bolts and then hope in a prayer that we can fucking, make a playoff or Super Bowl run here in 2-3 years instead of trying to fucking just win now. I want to win now, dude. I'm tired of losing. And now we're in this full rebuild mode and people aren't being honest about where the Raiders are at. So West Side Media, dude, Big Earn, dude. And hey, Big Earn and I didn't agree on like the Derek Carr thing, dude. But like, I'm with Earn on all this shit, dude. Like, straight up, dude. Like, maybe I got hoodwinked, dude. I'll be honest. Maybe I got hoodwinked, dude. I bit in the apple too, guys. I did. I'm sorry. I did. But I can't be fake, man. They've shown their true colors, bro. They have. I'm sorry. I wished I could be like other guys sometimes. I wished I could be like, you know what? It's all going to be fluffy. Everything's going to be fucking fine. They've shown who the fuck they are, guys. Straight up. I don't know how else to put it, but this shit with Devante Adams, man, it's real, dude. This is real shit. So Earn, dude, Big Earn, dude, if you want to come up in here and join me, dude, I'd love to have you on here. They're building through the draft. Why, dude? What? Okay, like, so I don't even know where we're at in the chat, guys, but like, why? Why do we need to build so much through the draft? Was our team that big of a shit show when we went to the playoffs 2 years ago? Riddle me that, dude. Somebody please tell me that. Was our team truly that shitty when we went to the playoffs? Dude, we could have kept the whole team. And if you just swap, say, Derek Carr for Jimmy Garoppolo, like, come on, man. Like, let's be real, dude. Like, maybe we don't have money to sign all those guys, but dude, this thing is, dude, this is crazy, guys. This is absolutely insane. Gruden was trying to win with this team. As much as we give Gruden shit and maybe rightfully so, he at least was fucking trying. Dude, we got so much dead cap from a lot of it's from these guys, man. Has anybody looked? Have you guys looked? I think it's on over the cap. I'll pull it up, man. Nah, over the cap fucking sucks. Spotrac is I think Spotrac's the one that shows it better, but give me a second. I'm gonna pull up Spotrac. And you know what, guys? Like, to some degree, I'm sorry, man. Like, I am, dude. It sucks, man. I don't want to come on here, get all irate, but at the same time, man, like, they're lying to us, man. They're fucking lying to us, man. And I don't like that shit. People can be fake all they want, dude. I can't do it anymore, man. All right, here's the dead cap, right? So Corey Littleton, I don't know. Maybe you can blame that on John Gruden. Derek Carr, there's the $5.6 million cap hit. Carl Nassib, Kenyon Drake. This staff cut Kenyon Drake. Alex Leatherwood. I mean, like, fuck, you would think that they could have maybe at least tried with the Alex Leatherwood for that kind of fucking cap hit, 3.9. I mean, but look, right here's like 30 mil, dude. 30 mil dead money, dude, just in cap hits, guys. 30 mil. So it's crazy, man. Like, we were not we were not that bad of a team, man, when this coaching staff took over, and they knew what they were getting, guys. Like, it's not like they had to pay Derek Carr, Darren Waller, or Hunter Renfrow. They made that decision with their own fucking analysis. And then they didn't even use Hunter Renfrow the right way when Hunter Renfrow wasn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? But like, they're not calling the right plays. They're using Hunter Renfrow for shit that you should not use Hunter Renfrow for. I said this at the beginning of the season. I said, do not cut Hunter Renfrow's wings, man. Meaning, like, you got to let Hunter Renfrow, like, do his fucking thing, man. So it's just like, it's frustrating, guys. You know, I know a lot of people are like, don't think this thing with Devante Adams ain't a big deal. I'm not convinced on that. I'm not of that camp, dude. I mean, probably 90% of other people are or whatever. And I know there's some positive things he said too, but like, you have a super stud. We have an opportunity with, like, dude, this is like a Jerry Rice type wide receiver, man. A Tim Brown type wide receiver that we have on our team. Like, we should be doing everything we need to do to win in the next 2 years. 2 years, man. Like, and this staff, they haven't made the right moves to like, for us to be in a win now mode. And it sucks because, like, I get it to some degree of like, yeah, if you go all in right now, you're gonna hurt your future success, like the Rams, right? Or you do this long, like you know, or slower rebuild kind of thing, or you develop people through the draft, like a lot of people are saying to do. But the problem with that is you're not gonna have Devante Adams here for that fucking time. What, they're gonna pay Devante Adams $40 million a year here in a couple years? I'm not seeing it. I bet they get rid of Max Crosby here after 2 years. That's what these spineless fucking cocksuckers do, guys. That's what they do, man. They're spineless, bro. They don't fucking care. Josh Jacobs, he won't be here, man. I'm telling you, he won't be a Raider because these guys are spineless. And what is this like? So to like when Brandon Marshall was like talking shit about Coach McDaniels, what is this show about your organization or your coaching staff? And what players would want to come play for that kind of coach? That they're gonna tell you one thing, say they'll give you a 3-year deal, and then they trade you 2 years, like, you know, into the deal, 1 to 2 years into the deal. That's the Patriot way. They'll give you a contract, and then before the contract is done, they cut your ass, like, you know, about a year before your contract's up. And they already have a replacement because they drafted him. If you're maybe in a better like situation than our current Raiders are, yeah, maybe that could work. But for us to get at a point where like you could cycle through players, essentially what I'm saying, dude, that could take 3, 4, 5 years. Literally, we want to do a 5-year rebuild. Like, seriously, man. Like, I'm mind blown. If that's what we want to do, go ahead. These guys are fucking awesome. 2 thumbs up, guys. 2 thumbs up. These guys fucking rock, man. They're amazing. Cheers to fucking that. So, I don't know, man. I don't know how far up I can go because I'm pretty hot. But salute to Big Earn, man. Raphael, what up? I don't know, man. I've gone through it. I don't want to do it on this show, Omicron, but I don't like if you go through and you look at the drafts that Gruden did, it's actually not as bad as we were thinking it is. You know, it's not as bad as we think it is. All right, Raiders said Max is next on the McDaniels hit list. They already asked Max to restructure after giving Max a new contract. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, dude. All right, Omicron said, blow it up, start over again with what money? Why do you think they're going after Brady as a minority owner? I mean, it's like to be or not to be, right? To be or not to be, right? So we blow it up. We get another coach. We start all over again. We do another rebuild. Or how about this coaching staff and this GM take higher responsibility and true integrity, and they stop fucking doing the bullshit they're doing to tank the Raiders, man, and get rid of all of our good players. There's an idea. How about they stop being so fucking arrogant and thinking that their way or the highway, and they adjust their coaching style to the talent that we have? That's what true leaders do. Anybody can delegate and say my way or the highway. The best leaders are the ones that figure out a way to adjust their style to get the best out of their players. Why can't we do that? Huh? I don't know about that, man. I mean, come on. All right. So Omicron said because of a false team, 4 overtime wins. Bro, I mean, we went into that season, we were 3-1, man. John Gruden had us at 3-1 before that shit storm happened. And the Henry Ruggs. Maybe we barely won to some degree, but like we had a good fucking team, man. So I bet you the sports bettors didn't have us at 3-1. And then they put a hit on fucking John Gruden. Imagine that. Raider said Ziegler and McDaniels shown that they do not know what they're doing. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Because that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, man. All right. Omicron said they had bad contracts. They're still paying Corey Littleton. Do you know what the cap situation was before they released? No, it's not from these guys. They overpaid Waller, Chandler Jones. Yeah, this coaching staff, I don't know what you're trying to say, bro. This coaching staff paid Waller and Chandler Jones. So I don't even know. Like, that is, like, to me, you just proved my point even fucking more, bro. Like, straight up. Like, Chiefs before last season absolutely destroyed us. Shout out to you, McDaniel Stan. Tress guy said, I tried to turn triumph, said, this roster will be done soon. I don't know, man. I hope you're right. Oh, I hope I'm wrong. I'll just say that. I hope I'm fucking wrong, guys. Said, Chiefs hit on draft picks and have generational QB. We have a discount. Matt Stafford, Derek Carr. Yeah, we're impatient. Like, I don't want to lose, man. They've created a fucking tank team, man. Raider said, Zeke and McDaniels need to get fired ASAP and replace them with C. Kelly, S. Turner, and name P. Graham as head coach. Yeah, dude. At this point, I mean, like, fuck, man. I don't know. I think we should have kept Rich Bisaccia, man. These guys showing us who they are, and I don't like who they are, and I don't like what they're doing to our team. Dude, they're not creating a team to win. And the best player on our team, Devante Adams, I would say is the best player. Him, Jacobs, and Crosby. Fuck, man. Like, he's upset. And, like, could you blame the guy? So, I don't know, man. All right. Stan said, yeah, building through drafts is what smart GMs do. Yeah. But, like, look, dude. Maybe I'll fucking pull it up right now. I don't want to fucking do this shit, but we'll fucking go there, all right? All right. So let me make sure you guys fucking see this shit. Hold on. All right, so we're going to go back to the last fucking draft picks. I don't want to do this shit on this show because I was going to make a separate show on it. I don't fucking care. All right, so let's look at this shit. We're going to go into... So make sure you guys see this shit. All right, we're going to go in the draft, right? We're going to go to the 2021 draft. Now, everybody forgets about fucking... All right, first of all, everybody forgets, right, that we had something called COVID, and, you know, you had to wear a mask. You couldn't fucking fart without asking fucking somebody if you could fart and all this bullshit, right? So, you know, you got, you know, someone who's very personal, Coach Gruden, not able to sit there and meet guys and look at them face to face and shake their hands. So let's not give Gruden any credit for 2 years that were fucked from COVID, not being able to meet players and shit, but whatever, okay? All right, so 2021, Alex Leatherwood. We all know that was a fucking flop. Round 2, Trayvon Moehrig. He did pretty fucking good, I would say. I would say Trayvon Moehrig did pretty good until last year when he got hurt. And I don't think this coaching staff was using him the right way. That's a good player. Malcolm Kuntz. What do you guys think about Malcolm Kuntz here? Maybe rotational player, not very good, right? So maybe we just skip Malcolm Kuntz, right? Diablo, someone who I think has a lot of potential if we use him the right way. He got hurt last year, but I like Divine Diablo. Tyree Gillespie. All right, I'll say that's the 4th round pick. I'll say that's a no-go. Nate Hobbs. What about Nate Hobbs? Do we forget about fucking Nate Hobbs? That was a Gruden draft pick, right? So Nate Hobbs is trash too, huh? Jimmy Morrissey, whatever. All right, so in 2021, I'm going to count these guys who could potentially be starters if they had the right fucking coaches. Nate Hobbs, 1. Keeping in mind, each draft, guys, you only have to get 2 to 3 guys to fucking start. Divine Diablo, 2. I'll skip Malcolm Kuntz. Trayvon Moehrig, 3. We landed 3 starters in this draft. I don't give a fuck what round it is. I care how many guys can be future starters or are currently starters, okay? Let's go to 2020. And you can look it up, dude. Like, professional analysis of a draft is like 2 to 3 starters and then rotational guys. Henry Ruggs, right? We all know what happened with Henry Ruggs. That would not have been a bust. I don't believe he would have been a bust. He was turned into a super stud. He's in jail. He fucked up, whatever. So I'm going to count that as 1, even though he fucked up. That's not on Gruden. That's on Henry fucking Ruggs, dude. So there's 1 starter. Damon Arnett, that was a bust. Won't count that. Lynn Bowden. Brian Edwards. This staff got rid of Brian Edwards as soon as they got here. They didn't even give him a shot. They traded him away right away. So I don't fucking know. Tanner Muse. John Simpson. Amik Robertson. He started some games. There's at least 2 guys. So there's 2 guys in that draft. 3 in the previous draft. Let's go to 2019. Cleveland Farrell, bust. Josh Jacobs, super stud. Super stud. And I was one of the few Raider fans that was happy we got Josh Jacobs in the first round when most of Raider Nation and other football fans said that was a dumb pick. Turned out to be a fucking amazing pick. And that's the guy we got for the Cleo Mack trade. Jonathan Abram. This one's tough for me because I really thought that Jonathan Abram was going to turn into be something, and he just never produced. I think he's got an ego problem, whatever. Trayvon Mullen, he did start, and then he faded off with injuries and shit. Won't count that one. Max Crosby, right? Max Crosby, super stud. John Gruden pick. So right there's 2 starters out of that draft. Isaiah Johnson, I don't even think he's in the league. Foster Moreau, he's probably going to be a starter / rotational piece, for the Saints this year. You could even count that as a possible 3, Foster Moreau. Hunter Renfrow, possible 4. Quentin Bell, and we'll count that as that. So we have at least 3 to 4 picks in this draft. Josh Jacobs, Max Crosby, Foster Moreau, Hunter Renfrow. That was the 2019 draft. '20 draft. Henry Ruggs would still be a starter. 1. Meek Robertson, I don't know. Maybe count that as half a point or half a player or something. He's so short, but he did play some games last year. But you can at least say one good draft pick out of this draft. During COVID, right? Alex Leatherwood, bust. Trayvon Morrig, 1. Divine Diablo, I'm going to count 2. Nate Hobbs, 3. So you got 3 in this draft. And then this is the new regime. They got Dylan Parham. So Ziegler, McClown comes over. We got Dylan Parham, Zamir White in the 4th round. Neil Farrell, D tackle. And that was round 4. We got Neil Farrell. Round 5, Matthew Butler, D tackle. Thayer Munford. Round 7, and Brenton Brown. But again, like I said before, we got 2 D tackles right here, guys. One in the 5th round. Then one in the 4th round, Neil Farrell. And then we drafted a running back. Way too high, in my opinion. So you see what I'm saying, dude? Like, the drafts that everybody's like giving John Gruden like a harsh time for, they actually aren't as bad as we actually present it to be. Any NFL team, if you can come out of that draft with 2 to 3 like starters, that's a pretty good draft, guys. And then rotational guys that hopefully can be developed to be something later on. Anytime you come out of draft with like 2 starters, that's pretty fucking good. And if like you look at it from the actual view, that's actually not that bad of a draft that Gruden was doing, even with COVID. So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like Pleatherwood, yeah. I mean, you don't like, dude, you guys realize, dude, I have an article here. Well, it's not on my computer, it's on something else, but like most draft picks, like the ones that work out the best are rounds 3 through 7. If you go back to any NFL team, 15, 20 years, right? You go back, almost all the draft picks that work out to be like something worth a shit are between rounds 3 through 7. Meaning most of the time, your 1st and 2nd rounds are busts. The like the numbers and the percentages of how, like, no matter who you draft, if you get somebody in the 1st, 2nd round, you have a higher chance of them being a nothing burger versus rounds 3 through 7. Like, it's crazy, guys. It's literally crazy the amount of like turnaround that you'll see through rounds 3 through 7 of guys that end up being like studs versus the 1st and 2nd round. So I don't necessarily look at this like, oh, well, it's a 1st round draft. Yeah, we want 1st round draft picks to work, but most of the time they end up being busts all throughout the NFL, guys. This is why I call the so-called experts clowns, man, because they always say draft this guy in the 1st round and all this shit. This is why I like the later round picks. This is why Mayock and Gruden probably did so good in the later round picks. So, yeah, there's guys we shouldn't have drafted that high. Alex Leatherwood, Cleveland Farrell. I agree with that shit. Henry Ruggs, I think he would have been a stud. But that's not on Gruden. It's not Gruden's fault. Ruggs fucked up, man. You know, Ruggs helped us be a 3-1 team before all that shit went down with Gruden. And we forget that. We also forget a lot of the good things they did. I'm not saying they were great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying they may not be as shitty as we've painted them out to be. And a lot of them are for Vinny B putting this shit out to Raider Nation, and we're all eating it up, eating the apple. Like, all these draft picks were so terrible. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as terrible as fucking we thought it was, man. Max Crosby, Josh Jacobs. I mean, we got some studs from this previous regime. And then we don't even know if some of these other guys would have worked out because the new regime came in and they got rid of all the guys. They didn't even give them a shot. Dude, their plan was to never win when they came to the Raiders. That was never their plan. Their plan was to fucking move on from those players, try to get comp picks, just like the Patriots did, like I showed you. That was their master fucking plan. And I'm sitting here the whole time scratching my head, you know? And when Hunter Renfro's gone after June 1st, you'll know them by their fruit, their actions. When Josh Jacobs is not a Raider this year, you'll know these guys by who they really are, not what they tell you. Because these guys have been lying to us and feeding us with bullshit the entire fucking time. Ray Bosby, what up? Hopefully you're doing good. And I appreciate you, Omicron, man. That's all I want to do, dude. I don't want to sit here and bitch, dude. I know people say I'm fucking whining. I'm just being real, dude. Like, I'm just gonna like I can't ignore the facts. I'm trying to look at all the data and sift through the bullshit, guys. Like, straight up, man. And I don't like it, dude. I want, trust me, dude. I want to look through this shit with a lens that I can filter like past years and be really excited. I can't do that this year. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, and I know a lot of people are, and that's great, dude. I'm sure they're going to make lots of money off their Raider parties and whatever the fuck they're fucking making money off of. That ain't me. I don't do this for money, dude. I do this for the Raider Nation, dude. That's my loyalty to fucking silver and black. That's why I don't have to be filtered. I say whatever the fuck I want. If someone unsubscribes, whatever, dude. That's why I don't want to be monetized. Can't cancel culture me. I'll fucking cancel myself before that shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Raider said, all in all, Devante does not see eye to eye with Ziegler and McDaniels, and neither do I. Yeah, and dude, and he's a real motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This dude's from Palo Alto, dude. Like, he's calling it like it is. And there's some Raider fans out there still trying to twist the narrative to their agenda, whether they're like pro car or anti car, pro McDaniels, to either fluff it up, make it look like it's not that big a deal, or make it twist it in a way where they're like, bring up, it's all about Derek Carr thing. That's a piece to the puzzle, yes. But we did not need to go through a full rebuild, even if we get rid of Derek Carr, guys. We didn't. It was these guys that gave Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow, and Darren Waller the contract, not the previous regime. They made that decision with their own analysis. Tragedy said, I think Leatherwood failed because they put him in too soon, ended up getting injured. They did the same thing with Miller. That, and I think Leatherwood had, Leatherwood, I think, was just one of those guys where he had to be babied a little bit. I hate to put it that way. Like, I don't know the dude. I'm going to make some assumptions, all right? So I'm an ass right now. But, Leatherwood, I just think he had to be coached. Like, you had to take him under your wing and don't put all that pressure of a first-round draft pick on him. He probably been fine, right? Look, at Colton Miller, right? It wouldn't even let me pull it up to go back another year on this stupid fucking site here. But dude, if we were to revisit the Colton Miller pick, that was John Gruden's first pick. If you guys remember in 2018, we were freaking out. I was freaking out. I'm like, Colton Miller, he didn't do very good that first year. Do we remember how easily we forget? Colton Miller was a bust. I thought he was going to be a bust. Probably 90% of Raider Nation thought that. Turned out to be a pretty fucking good left tackle. So there's a pick that turned out. That was a first-round draft pick, right? There's a pick that turned out to be somewhat okay. But we had to develop him. We had to be patient with him. We did not do that. And I think our offensive line coach is really good back then. But we didn't do that with the guys we have now. Like Leatherwood. Dude, that guy never had a shot. Like, straight up. He never had a chance to even prove or show that he could fucking be worth a shit. And you're right. And this is what I'm saying, that like, you got to give time for these young guys to develop without putting all that pressure on them, dude. Like, let them develop at their own fucking pace, man. We put them in there. We expect them to be all-stars day one. So he did end up with the Bears. And now I don't even think he's on the team right now. I don't even know. Yeah, I hope Josh plays too, man. I'm going to be pissed if he doesn't, man. Oh, tragedy turned triumph. Just said it. I didn't even see that. That's funny. I was just talking about Miller. He said, tragedy turned triumph said, remember Miller after his first year, everyone thought he was going to be a bust. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. That's funny because I honestly didn't even see that you said that. But yep, I agree with you 100%. I appreciate you, Super Omicron, man. I don't want to be a hater, man, dude. I don't want to be on here bitching and shit, dude. But like, all I can say is, dude, like, I'm gonna be me. All right, that's all I can ever fucking do. I used to bring a lot of other content creators on here and shit. Spent so much time, dude, trying to get people on here, and I always try to give people love and respect, dude. I did, and I do. most part, like, you know, for the most part, I don't like have any beef with anyone. Hearsay, there's some I don't like, but you know, like when I'm solo, dude, like I don't have to and because I'm not making money off this shit. Like I don't have to like cater to anyone, guys. I don't like, and I like that freedom. We all should. We all, dude. Like even if someone don't agree with me, dude, call me whatever you want. I don't even fucking care, man. Like everybody should be able to have an opinion to some degree. But to me, like I want opinions at least to be based off of like, let's do some research, let's have some analytical views, let's look at all sides of the coin, and let's try to sift through the bullshit. Let's try to come up with like a solution, right? And that's where I'm at right now. It's like McDaniels and fucking Ziegler and all the, you know, Ziegler's, you know, damage control press conference. Like, dude, I don't even care, guys. I don't like, it's all bullshit, man. It's all talk. It's all smoke and fucking mirrors, guys. Like, show me, show us, Raider Nation. Like, shut the fuck up and show us, man. We've been down this road too many fucking times. Like, if anything, us and Raider Nation should know when we're getting hoodwinked, right? Like, we should know that we've seen this shit happen so many times where we know when we're getting taken advantage of as fans and being told one thing and they do another thing. And now you got a super stud, Devante Adams. He sees it, guys. And I said this on one of my like draft reaction and shit. And I think even after I did like the review of the draft and whatnot, you know, like a week later, this is what I was saying, guys, is like, if I can see it, right, and I'm an outside guy, how do you think someone in the locker room ain't going to see it? And do you think that they're going to want to stay on that team? Or do you think that like other players from other teams are going to want to be part of this? I'm not convinced, man. I'm not convinced. Gruden was he did destroy our team and rebuild it. I will say that, okay? To some degree. We got rid of Mac. We got rid of Amari Cooper. But Cooper was giving up on like plays and shit, dude. So like, you know, Amari Cooper didn't hurt me nearly as much as the Khalil Mack thing, right? But when I look at it and I'm just like, you know, like Gruden was trying to go all in and it fucked him. It bit him in the ass. He was trying to win. That's why he went out and got Corey Littleton, dude. That's why he got LaMarcus Joyner. He was doing a lot of different things to try to win right now for us, guys. He was doing everything he could. And, you know, yeah, we may have had Amari Cooper and then we drafted Henry Ruggs, but we never had a Devante Adams when Gruden was here. Never. A stud like that. Like, we never had that kind of player. They drafted guys, they developed guys into being what we have right now. And it's not as shitty as a team as we're presented that we had or that this regime took over. We've gotten fed some bullshit. And I had to go back in the draft, like I showed you guys, and I looked at it. I'm like, actually, this draft, what they drafted wasn't great, but it wasn't as terrible as like we're thinking it is, guys. It actually wasn't. Like they did pretty. If you look at the whole draft, not first rounds, right? Not the first round draft picks. I say look at the whole draft. If we get 2 or 3 starters out of that shit, that's not necessarily a bad draft. Some of these guys aren't in the NFL anymore. I know. I was doing some research on some of those guys and shit to see where they're at right now. But you look at it and you're like, fuck, man, like we were building a team. We were building actually a pretty good team. The new regime comes in, they downplay the situation, or maybe not downplay it, but they feed us this bullshit that our team is fucking shitty. And we bought into it to where now we're accepting a rebuild. And I'm calling their bluff, guys. I'm keeping receipts. You see what I'm saying? I'm keeping receipts on these fools because what they did wasn't right, man. They didn't need to fucking do this to us again. They didn't. And when you know them by their fruit and they get rid of Hunter Renfrow and Josh Jacobs, dude, like you'll know, dude. How you think Devante Adams is going to feel? Right? All right. Ray Bosby said, I'm optimistic about the draft and what we can be, but in the back of my mind, I feel the same way as you. If we lose Jacobs and have a bad season, we could lose Adams. Yeah, I know. And I don't want to I don't want to put out bad shit about my team. Don't get me fucking wrong, guys. Like, I don't. This is why, dude, I went ghost for months, dude, for a while. Because for one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be patient, guys. Like, I just want to see what this fucking team does. Like, I just want to see what their actions are. And then I start seeing like some of the moves they're making, and I'm like, dude, these guys, they got like, it's like they got like 1 foot here and 1 foot here. Like, their strategy is not like, it's either like, dude, either like full tank, right? Or go like fucking full bore is how I feel. And they're like in this weird place in the middle. We're always going to get like 6 to 9 wins. And if we're in this place, we shouldn't even have Devante Adams on our team. As much as I love this dude, I think he's a super stud. There's no reason for Devante Adams to be a Raider. If anything, we wasted money. I love him. I don't want to get rid of him. I'm going to be pissed if they do. But, you know, I look at it and I'm looking like where our team is at and the moves that this new regime has done, we're not in any position to keep Devante Adams. Unless we're going to have, the only way I would say it's going to work is if we're going to keep Devante Adams and pay Devante Adams this big money coming here in like 2 years, right? And then at that point, we have a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract. But like when I look at this coaching staff, I don't see any way that they're gonna like pay Devante Adams that kind of money when his contract increases. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up here. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna pull up Devante Adams here. So Devante Adams, 5-year, $140 million, average salary 28. So look at this. So 2023, not too bad, right? 2024, not too bad because I'm pretty sure they restructured it. But then look, 2025, 35 mil. 2026, 35 mil. Which the cap hit would be 44 these 2 years. So starting in 2025, you think the Raiders are like, you think this regime that wants to get rid of everybody the Patriot way is going to keep Devante Adams at 44 mil right here? I mean, serious question. Will the Raiders keep Devante Adams going into 2025 at 44 mil? I don't see it, guys. I don't see Devante Adams lasting past 2024. I think we should keep Devante Adams. I would love for him to retire a Raider. I would love for Devante Adams to retire a Raider. But when I look at this, I'm just like, I look at the actions they're doing right now. I mean, yeah, my feelings might be a little different if I didn't feel that this like spineless staff that we have would keep Devante Adams until 2026 and let him retire a Raider. Because then it's like all right, so we're in 2023 right here. So this year's a rebuild year. Next year, I'd like to say we're going to be good, playoff bound. But let's just say it's 2025, 2026. Devante Adams would be what? 33, 34. He should still be able to produce. I don't know if it'd be worth 44 mil type money. But, you know, if this regime did the right thing and kept Devante Adams for these 2 years after putting him through shit years right here, I mean, if we got 2 Super Bowl wins out of that, 2025, 2026, and this regime, like, built the team right where we were like super studs in 2026, then maybe it would work. But you're still looking at, like, that's still 2 years away. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still 2 years away from even that happening, but they're probably going to get rid of him. So then Devante Adams did all this for nothing, guys, if they get rid of him. They do the Patriot way to get comp picks or trade him and all that shit in 2025. I don't know, man. Appreciate you, Tragedy Turn Triumph. Says all good, man. It's all true. Omicron said, I just hope the rookies show out. Yeah, dude. I hope they do too, guys. I do. I mean, I don't want our team to fucking do bad, man. Yeah. They'll start their own draft class. Their option will be to rebuild. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's like, we're all at this point. I'm not saying you, but it's like, we're like, everything I'm saying is like going to get to the point where it's just like Mr. Obvious shit, And I'm not saying that about you. I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying, like, we're going to get to a point where the picture is becoming more clear, Raider Nation. Like, what they're doing and their true intentions are becoming clear. And, you got a dude from Palo Alto. He's a fucking super stud, where you have a short window to do something great with this dude who, like, grew up a Raiders fan, who I want to win with. And he sees the bullshit a mile away. And this dude is not a diva. This is not a Randy Moss kind of fucking wide receiver, guys. This is a real motherfucker, and he's calling it like it is. And how many people have thought of this? I wasn't on Twitter that much or whatever. Guess some people were talking about this shit. But, like, what did the Patriots do to anybody that ever talked against them? The Patriots way is like Nazi style, guys. I hope you guys know that. Like, you go against them, all their, like, social media control they tried to do with the Raiders here and all this bullshit. You speak against the beast. You speak against the system. What did they do in the Patriot way? They cut your ass. They get rid of you. Anybody that does not go with their system and their way, they get rid of you, man. And you just got Devante Adams that just spoke up against the fucking beast and called it like it is. I hope we don't lose him, but you know what? At least he's being real. So cheers to Devante Adams for being a real motherfucker, man. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, we'll see how this shit goes down. I'm really worried we're not going to sign a deal with Josh Jacobs. And I don't think he's going to be a Raider this year. I'm really worried that Josh Jacobs will not be a Raider this year. Because, again, Josh Jacobs is a real motherfucker as well. If Devante sees it and he's calling it out, you think Josh Jacobs don't see this shit? Dude that was living out of his car. A dude that, like, lifted this regime on his shoulders and was here for the move from Oakland to Vegas. And we think that he wants to be part of this bullshit regime and what they're doing to our team? Or that Josh Jacobs is stupid. I'm sure he doesn't notice any of this, right? So I don't know. And again, dude, like, I was ready to move on from Derek Carr, guys. I was ready to move on from Derek Carr. But just because we got rid of Derek Carr does not mean we had to go through a full rebuild like we are right now. It didn't mean we had to strip everything down to the nuts and bolts. We might have needed, like, a little paint job, some buffering. But if these coaches were good, they could have coached those guys, get them up to speed, figured out a way to have a better year than we had last year, but figure out a way to produce with some damn good players. And all I've seen is their actions, that they only sign players that they want to get rid of for compensatory picks or draft picks. Because that's what the Patriots did. That's the real Patriot way that we all miss. You like a player, whatever. Their whole plan is to dump their ass and maybe it's smart to some degree, depending on if you have the right team in place. But at the same time, like you have to have a certain amount of things in place for that to work. If you're already a shitty organization and you try to do that shit, it's not going to bring in players. Players aren't going to want to come play for some spineless fucking coach and GM that don't give a shit about your team, man. That aren't going to be loyal and hold true to what they told the players when they signed the contract. They won't. And this is bigger than Derek Carr. Everybody thinks Derek Carr is the Raiders. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fucking Raiders, man. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying, tragedy. He said it could be Jacobs Abs last year with the Raiders. If Jacobs even plays, man. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll play under the tag. I'm not convinced. Like, I look at Jacobs, like a dude being homeless. Like, dude, like Jacobs the kind of guy where, like, yeah, he might want the money, the 10 mil or whatever, but like Jacobs the kind of dude where like he's gonna do something just to prove a point. Meaning Jacobs the kind of guy where if he truly believes and feels in his heart, right, that running backs are destroying their bodies, not getting paid enough versus like wide receivers, defensive ends, linemen, quarterbacks, and if he feels like running backs have been taken advantage of, Josh Jacobs will hold out just to try to prove a point to reset the market. Like he would do it, like not just because like he wants the money. He would do it just to help out other running backs down the road that are getting taken advantage of and not getting paid what they should get paid. Because everybody wants to pay quarterbacks 40, 50 mil, but we won't pay a running back 15 mil, right? Who takes a bigger beating? Quarterbacks at 50 mil, 40, 50 mil, or running backs at 7 mil, 10 mil? Running backs are taking like probably the most abuse in the NFL, but we think we should pay them the least amount of money. Their bodies are probably going to be some of the most fucked up out of all the NFL positions on a team, and we're going to pay them some of the least amount of money. I don't see Josh Jacobs as the kind of guy where if he truly believes in something, that he's just going to back down or not try to prove a point. He's a big picture kind of thinker, dude. You don't live out of a car and what that dude's accomplished and shit. Number one rushing leader, and just take it, taking crumbs. You're going to go out. You're going to do whatever it takes for like running backs behind you years down the road. So I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's a much bigger thinker. I'm not saying I exactly agree with it. I think we should pay him between, I was saying 12, 13 mil, 15 mil max kind of thing. If he wants more than that, that's a tough pill to swallow. But at some degree, maybe we should pay quarterbacks 30 mil and pay running backs 17 mil. How about that? Why don't we reset the market that way? Pay the quarterbacks 30 mil a year. Let's pay running backs 17 a mil. Because the running backs are doing almost more than the quarterbacks are at times. They're getting their bodies destroyed. They're blocking for the quarterback. I think running backs are hardly undervalued. I mean, we might as well just get rid of running backs altogether in the NFL. I mean, we don't even need them, right? They're a dime a dozen. So, yeah, I hear you, bro. It could be Josh Jacobs and Adams last year. You know, I feel that way too. And could you blame them if they don't want to be a Raider? If they do say both of them play this year, could you blame them if they want to be a Raider after this year? They were both lied to, I bet. Who would want to be part of that? Who would want to be part of this team? Ziegler trying to, tell all of us that people are just dying to be a Raider, like Gruden tried to tell us and shit like that. Where Ziegler did an interview and he's like, I don't understand why nobody likes McDaniels. And yeah, everybody wants to come be a Raider. And oh, who? You traded for Devante Adams. Other than Devante Adams, I mean, like, who has this regime gotten that's just dying to be a Raider? Jacoby Myers? We'll see what he can do. I mean, all I saw him do last year was give the Raiders a touchdown. So shout out to Jacoby Myers. He helped our team out last year. So You know what? Throwing touchdown pass to fucking Chandler Jones. So, I don't know, guys. All right, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to get out of here. Rambled for like an hour or so. Appreciate all you guys. You know, it upsets me because I love Devante Adams. I want him to be a Raider. I want him to stay a Raider. I think he's a super stud. I want guys like Adams who want to be a Raider and want to help us win a Super Bowl. And I want coaches that want the same thing instead of fucking destroy our fucking team. And I'm tired of rebuilds. I'm tired of us getting hoodwinked. We've all eaten the apple. We've all taken it, and we all, eating this apple thinking it's all sweet and tasty. And all it is fucking poison. We've all been poisoned, guys. So that's all I'm going to say. Cheers, everybody. Have a good night. I'm Hardcore Raider. There's only one nation. That's Raider Nation. Hardcore Raider out.